to survive a blizzard or walk through a scorching desert, human beings and other mammals do something incredible. We keep our internal body temperature sitting right around 98.6 degrees, no matter what it's like outside. Running that internal furnace takes a massive, continuous supply of energy at the cellular level. Every tissue in your body is burning fuel non-stop just to keep you warm and functional. And the only way to burn that fuel is with a relentless, uninterrupted delivery of pure oxygen to every single cell. If the fresh, oxygen-loaded blood were ever to mix with the carbon dioxide-heavy waste blood returning from those cells, the total oxygen concentration would drop in an instant. The energy supply would stall, and our internal furnace would simply shut down. This diagram shows nature's structural fix to that exact problem, a central pump divided strictly into 4 distinct compartments. An impenetrable wall separates the left and right sides entirely, ensuring the fresh fluid and the waste fluid never touch. This 4-chambered layout provides the physical framework for 2 separate blood routes to exist within the same organ, a structural requirement for an animal that needs to fuel a constant internal temperature. The human heart functions as 2 separate pumps fused together, starting with the right pump, which is dedicated exclusively to handling the body's waste. This schematic traces the pathway. Carbon dioxide-heavy blood returns, pouring into the right atrium, or don alinda. The tricuspid valve opens, dropping blood into the right ventricle, then locks. The ventricle forcefully contracts, shooting blood through the pulmonary artery towards the lungs. Once it reaches the lung tissue, a critical chemical exchange happens. The blood dumps its toxic payload of carbon dioxide into the airways and loads up on fresh oxygen from the air we breathe in. This sequence, from the right side of the heart to the lungs, operates completely independently. It's dedicated entirely to waste removal and oxygen harvesting, a loop we call pulmonary circulation, or puspushioshangbohan. But here is where the plumbing gets interesting. The freshly oxygenated blood sitting in the lungs doesn't go straight out to the rest of the body. To achieve the pressure it needs to circulate everywhere, it has to return to the heart a second time. The pure, oxygen-rich blood travels from the lungs through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, or bom olindo. It slips through the bicuspid valve into the muscular left ventricle, which then squeezes with massive force, ejecting purified blood through the aorta to every cell. We call this second sequence systemic circulation, or systemic sangbohan. Because the blood must pass through the heart twice to complete one full circuit, the entire process is known as double circulation, or di-sangbohan, which brings us right back to our initial survival problem. The efficiency of this dual pump system is entirely dependent on the fact that the pulmonary and systemic circuits never interact. This split-screen visual compares the alternative. If the blood could mix, the flow on the left shows a sluggish and efficient compromise. But because the 4 chambers physically prevent any crossover, the parallel flow on the right allows human cells to achieve maximum possible oxygen saturation. That peak oxygen saturation provides the massive energy yield mammals need to generate internal heat. This is what allows warm-blooded creatures to survive harsh winters and outpace cold-blooded predators. However, maintaining this highly pressurized dual-lane traffic without catastrophic backwash requires absolute mechanical precision. The walls keep the fluids separated, but the directional flow relies completely on the structural integrity of the valves. While the 4 chambers map the route for double circulation, it is the autonomous, perfectly timed snapping open and slamming shut of those internal trapdoors that truly keeps the engine running. How those delicate biological valves endure billions of beats without tearing is a structural mystery of its own.